Chapter 21:37. As the yacht on board was getting closer and closer to Alex, Ruoli's face had begun to show the joy of revenge. She was born in one of the largest martial arts families in Japan, and she had undergone the country's top martial arts education since she was a child. She was definitely a master among masters. Her strength was countless times stronger than those flashy so-called experts outside. Therefore, she didn't pay attention to Alex's strength at all. In her impression, he was just a guy who owed a lot, was cheap and sinister. There might be a little skill and a little background, but it was absolutely impossible for him to be a top master. After all, what masters emphasized was fair competition. What kind of ability was it to call the police behind their back? Therefore, she had already determined that today she would definitely be able to avenge her original revenge. At this time, the captain reported, "Miss Sue, we are less than 800 meters away from the target ship." Ruoli wiped the sweat from her palms excitedly and said, "Give me the telescope." Immediately, a sailor handed a high-powered navigation telescope to her. Ruoli raised the binoculars and looked through them, and immediately saw Alex standing alone on the deck, his face full of leisure and contentment. Because of the extremely high clarity of the telescope, Ruoli could almost completely see Alex's expression. At this time, he carried a naturally indifferent calmness on his face, and if there was a smile at the corner of his mouth, it could always give the other party a feeling of being despised. Therefore, in Ruoli's view, his current appearance was simply a perfect portrayal of pretending to be impressive. At this moment, Alex's eyes seemed to look in Ruoli's direction, and the smile at the corner of his mouth grew a bit thicker. Ruoli felt an inexplicable nervousness at first and thought to herself, "That kid's expression seems to have seen through me, and kill all the rest." Several people looked solemn and immediately said in unison, "Okay." When it came to killing, Ruoli never relented. From the moment she was born, her mother had always instilled this belief in her. Does he know that I want to come to him for revenge? Thinking of this, she shook her head again and muttered softly to herself, "Impossible." Today he arrived at the pier first and got on the boat first. When I got to the pier, he was already on board, and I was riding in a car with one-way glass. It is impossible for him to see me. This means that the situation tonight is the enemy in the light, and I am in the dark, so he can't detect me now. It seems that I think too much. As soon as she thought of this, she couldn't help but smile coldly, gritted her teeth, and said, "Boy, Annie will make you unable to laugh later." Having said that, she sternly shouted, "Go ahead at full speed." Ugh! The boat Ruoli was sailing in was smaller than Alex's, and the boat's speed was relatively faster, so after running at full horsepower, the gap narrowed faster and faster. In the blink of an eye, the distance between the two sides was only 500 meters. With the help of the telescope, Ruoli could even see the sparse stubble on Alex's face. At this time, Alex's smile was even stronger, and his eyes kept staring in Ruoli's direction. She was a little flustered at this moment. If the look in his eyes just now was an accident, then why is he still looking at me now? Thinking of this, she gritted her teeth and said to the few people around her with a stern face, "Everyone, get ready for battle." Yes. Several people immediately responded and then took out their weapons from their waists. China's gun control was very strict, so they almost all used hidden weapons commonly used in martial arts. As the distance between the ships grew closer and closer, Ruoli raised her hands, tied her long hair into a crisp high ponytail, and immediately said to the people around her, "The captain will hit the opponent's side first, and then slam the direction so that the boats are close to each other. When the boats are attached, the others jump with me. Grab the man on the deck first."